Imagine this. You're standing alone in a quiet place, your mind racing, but your heart is still. The world is bustling around you, but you feel like you've stepped into a different world, a place where nothing but silence surrounds you. But then, out of nowhere, you hear a voice that's not just in your head, but in your soul. It calls your name. It pulls you in. This is no ordinary moment. What happens next is more than just an encounter. It's a transformation. Sam, like many of us, had spent years rushing through life, work, family, distractions, all leaving him feeling empty. He knew something was missing, but he couldn't pinpoint it. For a long time, he had heard about being alone with God, but every time he tried to focus, his mind wandered. His prayers felt like words in the wind, unheard and unmeaningful. Then one afternoon, walking through a quiet park, something inside him whispered, "You've been running long enough. Stop. Just stop." He sat on a bench by a peaceful lake, surrounded by tall trees whose leaves rustled gently in the wind. For the first time, Sam felt no need to rush. He closed his eyes and sat still, focusing on the sound of his breath. For a moment, it was just him and the stillness. As he breathed in the fresh air, Sam remembered a verse from Matthew 6 verse 6. "But when you pray, go into your room, close the door and pray to your Father, who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you." He had always read it, but now it felt different. He wasn't just physically in a quiet place. He was opening his heart to God, truly surrendering the distractions. A few moments passed in silence, and then it happened. A gentle whisper broke through the quiet. Sam froze, unsure if he was imagining things. "Come closer," the voice said. It was soft but clear, a voice that seemed to resonate in his very soul. Sam's heart pounded as he looked around, but no one was there. He glanced at the empty park, wondering if this was his imagination. But the voice spoke again, this time with more clarity and purpose. "I've been waiting for you to stop running. Come closer, and I'll show you what you've been searching for." Sam felt an overwhelming pull, an invitation he could not ignore. With shaky legs, he walked to the edge of the water. The sun was setting, casting a warm golden hue across the lake. The silence around him seemed to deepen, and yet there was something alive in that silence, something holy. He knelt by the water, eyes closed, and breathed deeply. This time, the peace that filled him wasn't just calm, it was divine. He remembered the words of Isaiah 30 verse 15. "In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength." The breeze picked up, carrying a sweet fragrance with it, and Sam felt the presence of God like never before. It wasn't just an abstract idea or a distant belief. It was real, tangible, and personal. It was as though every part of his being was aligning with something far greater than himself. Then, the voice spoke again, this time louder and clearer than ever. "Sam, I know you've been feeling lost. I know you've tried to fill the emptiness in your heart with everything the world offers, but none of it satisfies. I am here. I am all you need." Sam's eyes filled with tears. He had heard these words before, but now, in this moment, they felt like a personal invitation to something deeper, a connection with God that wasn't about ritual or routine. It was about relationship. In that stillness, he felt God's love wash over him. He felt seen, valued, and understood. He knew that God had been with him all along, but it wasn't until he had truly stopped and listened that he could feel it. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery colors, Sam's heart was full of awe and gratitude. He had encountered something that couldn't be described with words, only felt. The emptiness he had been carrying for so long was now filled, not with answers, but with peace. It was clear to Sam that getting alone with God wasn't about escaping from the world. It was about encountering the Creator in the quiet moments. He thought about the words in Isaiah 30 verse 15. "In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength." Sam's encounter with God didn't end at the lake. It was just the beginning. Days passed, and Sam found himself seeking the stillness again. He made space in his life, not just for prayers, but for real connection with God. No more rushing, no more distractions. Just the two of them, alone. One afternoon, Sam was walking down a quiet road, reflecting on the peace he had experienced. He remembered Jesus' words in Matthew 11, verse 28. "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." In that moment, Sam realized that God was offering him rest, true rest beyond the physical. It was rest for his soul, a peace that surpassed understanding. As Sam continued to grow in his relationship with God, he started to realize that true intimacy with God doesn't just happen in moments of peace, it happens in every moment. It's in the quiet times, yes, but also in the busy moments of life where we invite God to be with us. One night, as Sam sat alone in his room, he heard the voice again, gentle and loving. "Sam, I am with you, always. No matter where you are, no matter what you face, you are never truly alone." Sam's heart soared as he realized that God's invitation to be alone with him wasn't just for a moment. It was for a lifetime. Sam's story is just one example of what can happen when we truly get alone with God. When we create space to hear His voice, to feel His love, and to experience His peace, everything changes. This isn't just about being in a quiet place. It's about being in His presence, no matter where we are. If you want more stories of real encounters with God, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join us on this journey of discovering the power of being alone with God and how it can change your life. God's invitation is waiting for you. Are you ready to accept it? Subscribe for more stories that will inspire and transform your faith.